very important people, of course, attending this summit, including former President Clinton and somebody else very important. Jessica Stone is live for us there at the White House. You've been following this for us in its entirety, and you are talking as well to the business community and attendees. What have you learned?
Well, Phil, this was really the big cornerstone day for the business community in the United States and really in Africa. I met so many people from African countries who are running private equity, public equity, large corporations, a lot of investment going on the continent. And of course, it's a billion people, and it's supposed to grow to 2 billion just in the next couple of decades. And it's already growing at 5% a year. So just imagine if more electricity, more power could be brought to the continent to even increase that productivity even more. So that's the spirit of the excitement we heard today. I want to give you a couple of headlines on some of the deals. We heard Administrator Rajiv Shah talk about this partnership on food security. Other partnerships were also announced from the U.S. government. The U.S. Export-Import Bank will commit up to $3 billion in financing to support U.S. exports to Africa over the next 2 years. And the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, is offering a bond guarantee that will allow Dakar, Senegal, to issue the first ever non-sovereign-backed municipal bond in sub-Saharan Africa. Also, some news out of the private equity world. The world's 2 largest private equity firms have joined forces with Nigerian billionaire Aliko Dangote. Blackstone and Dangote Group will together invest $5 billion by 2019 in power projects in sub-Saharan Africa. We also have an announcement to report between the Carlyle Group and Dangote Group that they will begin to work together in the oil and gas sector. Well, I had a chance to sit down actually with Aliko Dangote, Africa's first billionaire. He's worth more than $24 billion, and he feels really strongly about using his money to invest in the continent to take advantage of the boom on the continent. It's a market he refers to as a cake.
This cake is very big. Africa is a very huge economy. It's not something that the U.S. companies will sit and say, hey, China have actually dominated Africa. They are all over. It's not true. China, yes, they are there. They are in Africa. They have not taken even 10%. We have a billion population. You are talking about 2050, you're going to be 2 billion people. Are you really going to walk away from 2 billion people's market? I'm sure the answer is no.
And do you see China and the United States as in competition?
I think, yes, they will be in competition, but competition is always good.
Good for Africa.
It's good for Africa. Africa will pick and choose. But I'm sure America has quite a lot to offer. They have innovation, technology, so many things that we believe the American companies will offer.
How important is it, as someone who's made a good living in Africa, to you to be able to make these investments? And do you call on not only others who have been successful in the African economies, do you also call on the governments to really invest in Africa?
What we want from the government is to facilitate, the investment is for us to give us a very good environment to invest, and also areas where our investments are well protected.
Lastly, you consider it a major challenge, transportation and the visa issues to travel within Africa, something you'd like to see addressed.
I think I have to really hope that some of the American companies will help us to operate what you call either regional airline or maybe low-cost airlines, so that there will be a free movement of people at the right cost. Today, somebody like me from Nigeria, I need visas to go to 37 out of the 54 countries in Africa, which is not right. But for an American, maybe it might be only 5 or 10 countries. Normally, Americans, they are allowed to go in there and get their visas at the airport. So we are putting a lot of pressure to our political leaders to make sure that they remove all this visa crap. It does not make sense at all, because that is the main reason why today the total inter-trade within Africa is only 15%. It's just below $160 billion, which shouldn't be the case. We should trade among ourselves so that a company in America, if they are going to establish business in Africa, they're not going to be all over the place. They can be in Nigeria, for example, where when they produce in Nigeria, they can now export within Africa.
And as we noted before, a lot of the focus of investment has been on the power sector. There are currently 600 million people living in sub-Saharan Africa that don't have power. And of course, even those who do experience regular rolling blackouts, we have this report from Robert Nagila about a startup company that's trying to address that with their invention.